To ensure the success of adoptions, we must advocate for a right-to-know law that provides adoptive families with access to necessary birth parent information while still protecting the privacy of everyone involved. Imagine if you could see exactly what's used in the products you buy, the harmful chemicals used in your products, the ingredients in your food, or the decisions made by your government. That's the most powerful thing about having a right-to-know law. Imagine them taking away those rights. People wouldn't like that very much. With that being said, to ensure the success of adoptions, we must advocate for a right-to-know law that provides adoptive families with access to necessary birth parent information. The importance of the adoptee's right-to-know law is supported by very long research and expert testimony. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, family history is a critical element in pediatric medicine and represents the gateway to the molecular age of medicine for both pediatric clinics and their patients. The pediatric clinic has several opportunities to obtain a family history and multiple clinical and educational uses for that information. The Sage Pub Journal states that previous research suggests that adopted children are at a great risk of experiencing psychological and behavioral difficulties or accessing mental health services than non-adoptive peers, and that post-adoption variables. The adoptee's right-to-know law is widely regarded as the best solution for addressing the challenges faced by adopted people looking for information about where they came from. Imagine you were in their shoes. You found out something was wrong with you and couldn't get access to your biological information. This information is very crucial so the individual can figure out what's going on and get help. This is exactly why I feel very strongly about the passing of this law in every state and even worldwide. Today I will inform you on the passing of adoptees' right-to-know law, why we should support this law, and what it aims to do. The adoptees' right-to-know law does not refer to a single piece of legislation introduced at one certain time, but to a movement and series of legal changes that have occurred over many decades. The push for adoptees' access to their original birth records began gaining a lot in the late 20th century as social attitudes towards adoption got bigger worldwide. A study published in the Journal of Child Psychology and Pediatrics highlights that adoptees often face challenges related to identity formation and psychological adjustment when they are unable to access information about their biological roots. This study emphasizes that having access to this information can significantly improve an adoptee's sense of self and emotional well-being. This problem affects the adoptees, birth parents, and adoptive families. The adoptees' right-to-know law also affects millions globally, with about 5 million adoptees in the United States alone facing obstacles due to closed records. The legal landscape is inconsistent, with access laws across states leading to confusion. It also can cause psychological distress. Adoptees may suffer from identity confusion, anxiety, and depression. Lack of family medical history hampers preventative health care and early diagnosis. The American Academy of Pediatrics highlights the importance of family medical history for health management. An article said that pediatrics may be able to use health records to help parents determine additional questions that could clarify a particular health issue, or diagnose and help parents figure out what special needs they are prepared to accept. In the U.S., adoption laws are determined at the state level, leading to significant variations in how adoptees' rights are handled. Article 8 of the UNCRC on Children's and Young People's Scotland emphasizes the child's right to preserve their identity, including nationality, name, and family relations. While not legally binding in all countries, the framework supports the argument for adoptees' success to their birth records. This article says government should respect children's rights to their own name and nationality. Their family ties should be respected. These policies can help out every adoptee out there, even saving lives. I couldn't imagine the struggle they are going through right now having this problem. It could help them figure out their illness or why they got it. That's why I think it's very important that these laws are passed. The adoptees' right-to-know law, while progressive is granting access to original birth records, face many weaknesses and limitations. One major issue is that inconsistency across jurisdictions. Laws vary widely from state to state and country to country, leading to unequal access for adoptees based on their place of adoption. The New York Times says a lawsuit has been filed by 7 birth mothers who claim the new law unconditionally violates their privacy and breaks promises of confidentiality made to them by adoption agencies at the time they relinquish their children. I believe that the adoptees' right to know law should be passed in every state. The laws allow individuals to know their background, medical history, and where they came from. While birth parents have the right to privacy, adoptees also have the right to their origins. The Netherlands Network for Human Rights Research Institute states that the right to know law is a core of the right to identity for adoptees. That is allowing them to pursue their biological information. The identity of one biological parent is a simple, straightforward information for one possible objection to my viewpoint on the law is that even though the biological mothers will be discovered, doesn't mean they have to meet the child or have anything to do with them. The child, well, adult now, could get the information they needed for themselves. Privacy is very concerning for birth parents and is another crucial aspect, but evidence does suggest that these can be addressed through policies that protect all parties' rights. Adoption laws protecting a child's right to know their biological parents are based on principles of identity preservation, which is called UNCRC, access to medical history, well-being of self, while balancing rights of birth parents and adoptees. Adoptees' right to know law grants adoptees access to the original birth certificates depending on birth parent consent. In summary, while adoptees' right to know law have progress in granting access to birth records, they remain bothered by barriers that create unequal opportunities for adoptees. Addressing these challenges through more supportive policies is essential to make sure that all adoptees can fully get their rights to personal identity and their own health information. To ensure the success of adoptions, we must advocate for a right to know law that provides adoptive families with access to necessary birth parent information while still protecting the privacy of everyone involved.